Everybody's here.
Announcer.
As in FA, this once in a lifetime now will not hear word though in this thing. Anyway, welcome to episode 50 something now, Avi.
Yes,
Episode 53. I am Olori.
I am Eka.
And I am, of course, Ife, the most popular, I am
I
too
beg,
famous.
Auntie,
People are
calm
hating on
down,
me in this group.
calm down.
There is something going on. I will find out. I rest my case. But I will be vindicated eventually.
Woo! Anyway, where do we start today? Do we start with like a non-gisty? Anyway, Eka, you had a gist. So let's start with your gist first. Then we'll...
Yes, no, I just want to congratulate Tanzania for their forward movements, for the fact
Yep.
that they have a female president.
Mm-hmm.
I think her name is President Samia Suluhu
That's right.
Hassan. Yeah, so
That's right.
that was, it was something nice to see, because Tanzania, I believe Tanzania is very predominantly Muslim, right?
I think
And to
so.
see a female president emerge, I didn't know she was even vice president.
Yeah.
So she moved because the president died. So now she's the president. She was sworn in, and that is something to celebrate, because some other countries now, they are still putting up stupid things that women cannot even lead student union and stupid things like that in university. So
Thank you for taking us there. Because I wanted to make that connection, because I think the other thing that, at least as of right now, from what we know, there isn't any kind of the transition seems to have been peaceful
peaceful, yeah.
in Tanzania. So no one is saying, and we put us there as VP, but we didn't have any plan that the day we die. So there doesn't seem to be any worrying as far as, we really don't want a female president, despite the fact that the law has taken its course, right? So
Yes.
I applaud them for accepting it, you know, the way that it came to be, which brings me to where we are. And I really wish I remembered. I think it was federal. I think it's federal poly Nekede, Imo State or
Naked,
something.
yeah.
First of all, if you're an alumni of that school, I think it's safe for you to go and request a refund. Because clearly, no, it's true. Because
It's true.
clearly there is a breakdown. Like, I think we see in Nigeria education only as a means to get a job. We don't see it as an avenue to actually
For
broaden
your brain
your
to
mindset.
expand.
Yeah.
Mm,
Now, I'm all for a man saying that I don't want a woman to lead me if you bring out cogent reasons. I was talking to my sister. For example, if you say something like, "Oh, when women are on their period, they get hormonal," which women have admitted to, right? Oh,
mm.
so therefore,
You
I'm
don't want.
concerned about your ability to make decisions during that time of the
Mm,
month. Is that a
mm.
silly argument? Yes, but I get what you're trying to put together, right? Now, a woman can counter and say that men are emotional over their egos. So do we also not trust your ability to make decisions when your
Yes.
ego is being challenged? So we'll have a healthy discourse. Do you get what I mean? But when you are bringing reasons like someone who pees standing, sitting down,
Oh gosh. Hmm.
cannot lead me, meaning that because women bend down to pee, for some reason that impacts their ability to lead in a university setting. This is not beer parlor. This is not a village community meeting. In a university setting where we're deciding who will be our next student union presidents. Someone is saying bend down to pee. It's one thing if maybe as a student union president, it's a very violent or physically intensive role. Do you get what I mean? That maybe you have to go and fight somebody every day. We say, okay, fine, maybe women are not the best fighters. But there was no, as a sort of to me, what really possibly wasn't in them saying that I don't want a woman to lead me. It was in them coming up with this reason as the reason. Like, I don't know where we start from. So Nekede Poly, or whatever the name of that school is, you are a big disgrace. Your entire school.
Sorry, so that everybody that is listening understands what the gravity of what Naked Boys are doing.
It's really boys.
So a lady's poster is coming up that she wants to be, obviously she's saying vote for me to be your president. And then two men now come and comment. I'll just read one comment. One comment. How can someone that is bending down to urinate, if the English is even bad, will come and rule or control me that is standing to urinate? Check am now, see am, e no make sense.
Like
Oh,
I
It's
said,
2021. Yeah.
to me, I said to me, I'm not even mad in him saying that I don't want a woman to lead me. It's in the reason that you cited as a university person,
Students.
right?
Hey.
This is the reason, because to me, I feel like part of the reason that we are that we still have this gender gap in Nigeria is because we don't have like there's no shame when you say things that don't make sense anymore. Do you get what I'm
Mm.
trying to say? Like, anybody that hears this as a reason know that your brain faculty is a bit faulty. Like, and you've gone to school, so you're meant to be exposed. So where did we miss it? So again, Nekede Poly, I don't know what you are teaching, but the whole point of having elective courses, so maybe you're doing engineering, right? But you will take a few electives, is to broaden your mindsets. So all this ASU strike here, ASU strike there, what are the teachers instilling? Because come to find out, I may not be surprised. Some of the lecturers probably feel the same way
Do you
about,
understand?
women in leadership. So to me, I was beyond disappointed, because I just feel like this is a gross failure of a university system, a gross failure.
yeah.
Mm.
Can I just say that
Bad.
school? Apparently, I don't even think that should be a school, because I was doing research on them, and some of their best lecturers and stuff had to leave because they said management was basically frustrating them. So there's actually brain
Okay,
drain there. So we can understand why,
okay.
unfortunately, they are breeding the worst type of people. I mean,
Mm.
if you're letting your best lecturers go because of politics or nonsense, like, I mean, what do we expect students to? And that school, if you check the news, they're always in the news for rubbish. So there's a problem with Nekede. That's just it.
Like, if you go to school abroad, I feel like, and this is where if you go to school abroad, a key factor of a university environment is the differences, like, is the difference in thoughts, backed by, like, so even a Trump supporter in a university setting will cite
Yeah.
what they think he has done right. You get what I
Mm.
mean?
Mm.
It will not just be because Trump is a Christian and Hillary is a Muslim. Like, we need to, as you get what I mean, we need to, like, the fact that as a man, as a university student, you're not, like, it doesn't, you don't feel somehow that your reasoning doesn't have good backing. I don't know, that it's just disappointing. I'm sorry.
It's disappointing. And the thing is, unfortunately, it's the reality of our
Life.
country.
These
Because
are men
people
from
go
our
to school.
country. Yeah.
Exactly. People go to school and they don't, like, it's like, why are you, like, what is wrong with a woman having control or having some sort of power? And it's like, no, that's not
How she
wait,
pees is
what
the issue.
is,
How she
like,
pees is the key factor.
such a silly nonsense.
Ben,
If a woman
the
can
worst.
birth a child, why can't she rule? Why can't she be in charge?
Exactly.
Try to be pregnant. Pregnancy is literally like a disease. Somebody's nose will expand, your skin will change. They're like, I don't understand. Men try to say, "Oh, we are strong. Go and carry child now. Go and carry. If you won't die,
No,
people die during pregnancy and childbirth.
Yeah.
You're talking
yes. My own issue is the fact that these same men that are opening their mouths came out from the bending down to urinate woman that they are talking about now.
exactly,
So this one they are talking, and I don't even understand what they mean by bending down. Sit down is
exactly.
what the word is. So if they have, I mean, they stand to do the other number two, like
Don't
That's
mind it.
thank
so
you. Thank you.
stupid.
Oh God.
Ah,
As in, the more we
I
dissect
think
it, the
they're
more,
stupid. They're just
because
stupid.
to your point, everyone bends down for number two anyway. So
Uh-huh.
so what's the point?
Some people
They
even stand up. Some women stand up for number one sometimes. So it just depends. Who wants to bend down?
Abi, to stand up is not the
Woo!
issue. People can stand
Ah,
up. So let
exactly.
us
People can
leave it.
stand a seat.
I can't believe they are using that one to say they anyway.
Nekede
I,
Poly, I said, if you're an alumni, you need to better write to your school that it needs to
Oh,
be better, that the school system has to do better, because if this is your product, it's a shame.
I pray
no,
the
shame.
woman
Um,
wins, Sha.
I pray she wins. And the other thing that I was also thinking about, in the way that I think sometimes women um don't realize that they are holding each other back. I was playing a scenario in my head where maybe as part of this fight now, a student boyfriend tells a student girlfriend, don't vote for this girl, right? And then maybe the girl now brings the gist to her friends because she wants to vote for the girl. And her friends are like, don't allow this small master, spoil your relationship. Oh.
Sorry.
Now, first of all, this relationship may not pass the graduation ground.
Exactly.
Graduation.
But then more importantly though, that even amongst ourselves, we would value that relationship above being able to voice your own opinion or exercise your own right to vote for who you want to. To me, like it's just layers of patriarchy that even sometimes we as women reinforce for ourselves. That breaks my heart. But
that's also juvenile behavior. I mean, if you're a woman who's old enough, right? Like, I think we've some people that's, well, let me not speak for everybody, but if you've encountered men, you realize that there's no need, if you're going to choose a relationship over your views. I don't know. I'm not that kind of person. So I think that's something I would have done maybe as a teenager, not as a woman in my 20s, yeah. Just saying. So if you're if you're an older in university, I can understand. Like, somebody can do something like that, unfortunately. But, I'm saying in general, like, it shouldn't be, sure.
I feel like that's a whole convo, because I think there's also the idea that like, where do you draw the line between you understanding and compromising for your relationship versus you abandoning who you are? As you get what I'm trying to say, there, like, where, because I think many times in these days, I think there is we want to say, don't follow social media, that you don't know what people are doing in their in their home. So maybe, like, let's take feminism for example, right? You want to enforce some feminism ideals, which I'm going to talk about in a bit, some feminist ideals in your house, right? And then your friend says, don't follow all these women on social media, that maybe they're chopping slap, behind the scenes. So you know that, okay, you know what, let me just manage my own and just keep quiet. So I think even among older women, I think there's still a tendency for some of these things to happen. But let's kind of segue to our first kind of, I guess, major segment on this episode, is the choose to challenge. So we're all going to go around and talk about what we choose to challenge. So I'll go first, if you ladies don't mind. I choose to challenge the idea of submission. I'm sorry, I know this is an unpopular opinion. I get what the Bible says, but I strongly choose to challenge the idea of submission, because I feel like if we're both mutually respecting each other, I don't know why there has to be an extra layer of submission. So I'll cite one example. I watched the TVC show Your View, and the women were talking about actually, I think the show had happened the day before, so like yesterday's show, for example, right? And I think they had talked about submission. It wasn't the main topic, but I think, in dissecting the matter, right? They're talking about, like, women having a voice in the home. The next day, a man calls in the show. So again, the man listened to either the day before or the week before, right? The man calls in saying that his wife listened to an episode, right? And BC, one of the ladies on the show, encouraged that, basically, that she took something that BC said, and now in the home she no longer wants to do chores, or she doesn't, she wants to split
Sure.
chores. And that what he's angry about is that that it's like BC is trying to not encourage submission, and it is wrong, right? Now, where I got mad was because not even the man, right? In BC even trying to defend herself, and all the women trying to defend, all the other women on the show trying to defend her, they kept saying that no woman on this show advocates for no submitting, that we all are advocates for submission, right?
Yeah.
No one addressed the fact that if your wife is complaining about how chores are split in the house,
Oh,
right?
listen.
Maybe there's an unequal divide. Is she also bringing in money in the house? If there's an unequal divide, why don't you talk to your wife about how you can make things more equitable in the house. Everyone, including BC, the women on your view, and even some other people that called to put mouth in the matter of this man calling in, right, kept saying that, and you know, the way you people talk sometimes make it seem like you don't want to respect your husband, and the women kept trying to defend that they all support submission. I'm like, you people have missed the point. It's not about your, you know, trying to defend that you approve of submission, because that's what, you know, because they don't want to offend, you know, the masses. It's about the fact that a man has a domestic issue, and rather than ask his wife that why this sudden change, you were managing this before, is it that it was too much before, and now she found a voice. Rather than you try to see how you can help her, you want to now silence her more by asking her mentor, which is BC, to change her mind, because they kept making it seem like, oh, maybe the woman misheard what BC said, so it's not the BC that caused that. I'm like, that is, you're missing the point. So again, sorry, I go back. In summary, I choose to challenge submission. If we are morally respecting ourselves, we don't need this extra layer, in my opinion. Sorry. The next lady can
Me, what I'm choosing to challenge, because okay, let me say the thing first before I start the story. What I'm choosing to challenge is the fact that, and I'm taking this to my country, but then I believe it's happening in most countries, a lot of countries. I choose to challenge the fact that men are still seeing women as second class citizens that they can,
Thank
that
you.
because why I'm saying this, because recently, I don't know why, and I've been so triggered that at one point I stopped checking Twitter or Instagram. I keep on, I don't know if this is how it has been, no, I don't know. I keep on seeing stories of how men are violent to women. That is okay. A woman is in a taxi with you. You don't even know this woman. You just chat her up. She doesn't respond to you. Next thing, we're seeing the woman on Twitter showing how her nose has been
I
hit
saw that
because I
story.
saw, yeah, because the man talked to her and he's like, "Who are you?" You know, or stories like every single every single other day, even if not in Nigeria, or stories now like in the UK where there's a lady that has died and women are going on, I can't remember the hashtag, to say that they don't want, like, there should be something legal that puts people or men in jail for sexual harassment, because it is not, there's no, you cannot arrest somebody for, in a sense. And then the fact that a lot of men on Twitter during that time, because a lady died and it's a police officer that is the prime
Just
suspect of who killed her, and she was just walking on the road. So I don't know the nitty-gritty of the story, but is this kind of
sorry,
thing of
a quick question. So did the police officer kill her in terms of, like, you know, all this police brutality, or
random.
or
so
was it that a
now
man killed her and he happens to be
a
a
police
police
officer.
officer? Okay.
So now I don't even understand, because I've not, I stopped following the story simply because it just seemed so bizarre. So what happened was, the lady left her friend's house in the evening and she was walking to her own house, or walking to probably go back to where she came from, and she now became a missing person, and it was later found out that she was dead, and then the person that was linked to her death is a man, and the man is a police officer. So we don't know the stories, but then there are many things that have come up with harassment. And even now, there were some women that went to go and just do like a candle lighting for her or something. And they were, the way they were even treated, I know it's COVID time, there's lockdown rules, but then the way they were treated in a way that they did not commit so much of a crime for what the police officers did to them, for coming out just to what do you call that thing, just to pay their
Protest.
respects for somebody, no,
Okay.
pay respects for somebody, a female who died, and died unjustly, and we are noticing that there's something fishy going on, and it's a male, and it has to do with harassment and everything. Anyway, I won't go into that story, I've already gone into it, but the bottom line is, even with what I have been seeing online, you will just see, even going back to this Nekede story, you just see the way women are treated as second-class citizens, and
Yeah.
it is for the most stupid things. A woman didn't do this, the woman is
Mm-hmm.
castigated in public, and you will see people sitting down there, and you can see clearly in the videos that the man was the one that disturbed the woman. The woman doesn't want to talk to you. You start
Mm-hmm.
insulting her. Like, what
Not by
is
force, no.
I
I don't
don't
understand.
understand. The harassment is too much everywhere. And
It's all over, oh, I
a lot of
swear.
men, instead of them, like a lot of people, even some women I saw on Twitter, they say, that there must have been something the girl said for the guy. Like, what is the guy
Why should you
actually
be violent? Like,
responsible? Is he, him trying to beat a woman, another human being self? Anybody that goes on the road to go and start beating somebody because of exchange of words when you don't know the person, are you normal? Ah, me, that's what I'm challenging because I'm so sick of it.
ridiculous.
I'm so sick of it.
I mean, for me, I'd say in general, I would just like join both what both of you said. Me, I'm challenging gender roles because it's like, okay, a woman has to be like this, a man has to be like this. I think we should also we raise women to nurture, to be compassionate, to to be neat, to just be calm, be submissive, and then we raise men to want to be hunters, want to fight, power, strength. So I feel like there should be a balance because unfortunately that's why we have this whole misalignment with men and women because a woman has to be like this, a man has to be like this. So for me, I'm challenging gender roles. Yeah, that's my own.
Well, thank you, ladies, for your contributions to the I choose or the choose to challenge movement. I think while we've had some we've made some progress. I think that there's still a lot to be done as far as gender equality and equity in the world. Um, I'm going to try to do Peter Edochie next. 'Cause I think that's a good segue. And if we have time, we'll talk about Flower Girls. Pete Edochie was in the news this week. For those who don't know Pete Edochie is one of our veteran Nollywood
Odogu.
actors, yeah, in the Nigerian movie industry. And he has a very storied career. Doesn't act too much these days, but he's paid his dues in the industry. I think he was the one that did was it the one that did Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart? Was he the one?
It was him.
Mm.
Yeah, it was him. So he was the one that helped reenact Chinua Achebe's very popular book Things Fall Apart. So again, very storied career. But he's also a very old man. I think he's in his 70s and very traditional. And it seems like his views haven't made it into 2021 or really 21st century in general. So he was of the idea of he said many things, but he had an interview where he basically advocated for women to put condoms in their husband's bag. So basically, if you know your husband is cheating, put a condom in his bag to protect you, but also somehow that may cause him to have a rethink when he knows that, oh, this woman knows, and rather than attack me, she's caring for me by giving me condoms to protect myself, and so that would somehow maybe make him change his mind. But that even if it doesn't make him change his mind, that what really can you do as a woman? You're not going to fight him. That men these days are weak. That the way women talk to men these days is just so appalling. That back in the day, if you did that, you would not leave the house in one piece, right? So in basically in saying that if your husband is cheating, either give him condom because there's really not much you can do about it basically. And if you even like try to challenge him, right, you may get beaten up, long story short. So I want to start the conversation. I think is cheating a deal breaker for you? Any lady can go first. Oh, I can go first.
This is an interesting question. Oh. As you asked the question, did you see how everywhere just went quiet?
Exactly, because I was
Like,
thinking, so maybe I will go first. I think that yeah, I want to say no. And the
mm,
reason why I want to say no is because I I've been in situations where I have either stayed or walked through things that I didn't think that I would stay for or walk through.
mm-hmm,
Right. So for me, I think it's more of a factor of why you cheated, and is this a habit? Is this who you are, but you just didn't tell me before, right?
Mm,
Or is this a one-off, we're going through something, and then like to me it depends on what the circumstances around the cheating was. I think that while I may not be not so I think that while so I don't like the idea of cheating as a habit, that this is who I am, I'm just
mm,
promiscuous, right? That to me is going to be a deal breaker for me. Now, I think part of the reason why I'm saying no, and the moment I talk about this, is like, when I say a deal breaker for me, it typically doesn't mean, at least for me personally, that okay, I find out today, I'm going to leave tomorrow, right? That is not
mm,
what it means for me. It means that okay, I've assessed that I can't deal with this thing, right?
Mm.
But I'm going to plot my exits out, if that makes any sense, right? That's
Mm.
that kind of cheating is a deal breaker for me, but it doesn't mean that I will leave tomorrow. I will just plot my way out. But then the
Yeah.
second one, where it's not your nature, is it's a one-off in a sense, right? I think I may have some grace for you to walk through what that issue is.
mm,
That's my answer.
mm. Do you know what? Me, I'll say I don't know. Why I say I don't know is because a lot of times you can say, okay, yes or no, or this, that, that. But why I'm saying I don't know is that it's until somebody is in the situation before you know whether you
Mm.
will what you will do. I say that because I had, okay, the only time I've experienced like cheating, which was not even, I won't say I caught the person red-handed. You understand?
Mm.
Okay.
I saw somebody else posting pictures of her and him together,
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
right? So now that was, it was like, huh, okay. But then at that time in the relationship, in my head, to me, I knew that we're not
Mm.
moving forward. You
Yeah.
Yeah.
understand?
Yeah.
So this one we are doing
Exactly.
is not going to end. So I would say why I cannot now say now, because that time I was already, it's like I had already reached the level where in my head I know
Get
that,
checked out. Mm.
sorry, I know
Now say
that we're
checked out. Like,
exactly. So I know that we're not going to continue per se,
yeah.
even before I now saw that one. And even when I confronted this person as to, okay, what's this going on? His response was, well, you have been like off and on. So I
Mm.
have gotten tired of, I don't know, like my
Yeah.
own trust that you are in this, although he denied anything to do with the person, that the
Of
person is
course.
that the
Of
person is
course.
in a different country, and his friend who was trying to get her friend just wanted him to
She's like a
just
sister to him.
be there, like, and I'm like, okay, your friend knows that you have a girlfriend, so why is your friend using you as wingman? I don't
Right.
understand. And basically what he was saying is that she's in a different country, so there's nothing, well, nothing will happen. But guess what? She came and visited you. So how is
As a
it?
sister. As a
So
sister involved.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I think for me, I was more upset as to how can you be doing this thing to this girl, because does the girl know that there's somebody else here, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because the girl, for her to now buy ticket and be coming to see you, then her
Fine.
head maybe is going, you know.
Right.
And you're telling, well, it might be me that is not the serious person again, but then this is
That
somebody
is
that
side chick.
this is somebody that we were together for a very long time. So at this
What?
time I knew that at this time as well, to be honest, I had broken
Yeah.
up with this person and
In
then
your
made
head.
up after 2 hours and said, look, it was a mistake, the breakup. I
Mm-hmm.
was angry. So I think that on its in itself made him, he was shocked as to what? Like, you just out of the blue come and break up with me. So I was already on the verge of,
Already.
I'm not interested. You're not serious.
But can I stay on that for like a quick second, right?
Yeah.
So, because I feel like men do this and it pisses me off.
Mm.
So
Oh my,
okay, yes, you were. Let's assume that it is a truth that you Eka were off and on at that point in time, right? You were not
Yeah.
too committed, right?
Yeah.
But I can bet my next paycheck, I can bet it fully that
Mm.
it was because he had already started exhibiting some signs prior. Do you get what I mean? So you've already pushed me away. Now I'm
Mm.
reacting. You're now
mm,
using my reaction as the
To
reason
be away.
for your further
yeah,
activities,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. No, funny enough, the reason why the reason for the breakup did not have anything to do with cheating or anything. That was me coming to realize
yeah.
and say in my head that after many years, I don't think we are right for each other. And
Okay.
these are the reasons why. So there was not, that one was not even there at all. So it's like it's after that one now. Now he now gained the courage to say, you know what, I've given this babe my time and she doesn't look like somebody that is going to move on with me to forever till death do us part. So let me just start being a bad boy. Who knows? I don't know. But then it did not really pain me because after a few months, the thing kuku ended, and then we became
Exactly.
friends with benefits and all that. So
Anyway, Effie, do you want to give us your response?
Okay. Let me just say, for me, I don't think I can deal with a cheating boyfriend or husband or whatever. But I will say this. I feel like people get into relationships for different reasons. So for me, if I'm getting into a relationship because I love someone, when I love someone, it's either 0 or 100. I don't
Mm.
have a middle kidney. I'm not in the middle.
mm,
I'm either all there or I'm not. So if I loved you that much and you now cheated on me, like for me not to do something that we will both regret, it's best for me to move on because I know I can be very resentful. If you're somebody who gives 100% and you're a passionate person, it might be like if you say, "Oh, I'm going to wait it out." No, because the person is going to also gaslight you eventually moving forward. And then every time you react, he'll say, but it's not because of that thing. I already said sorry. I already bought you this. And it's like, no, those gifts, like it's not even about the money that was spent or anything. It's deeper than that. Like this is a heart issue. So me, I won't stay. I will move on because I've always said this. Every good thing will come to an end. So there's no need for me to stay and then wait for you to cheat on me a second time. For me to now come and come and be going postal on you. No, it will not happen. So me, I will just move on. But then if I marry somebody because sometimes we pick spouses or boyfriends because of what they can do for us, which to be
Mm.
unfortunately is not the best thing, but sometimes you might love someone because of what he does for you, not because you just love him. So if it's someone like that who I know that this guy, like if I'm with him, our kids are going to be taken care of, Kiniko, and you cheat on me, it's possible that I might stay because for me, the positive outweighs the negative. So I know that we can balance, we can balance things, but I don't think
mm,
I'll stay for long. I'll just be staying till maybe I make enough money or my kids, maybe you pay for my kids' tuition. But I'm going to say this. I probably won't be faithful to you. Let me not lie. Like I probably won't be
Okay,
because it's
okay,
doing
okay.
doing it. But so if it's love, like I would walk away. If it's more of like a financial thing, or maybe the person is maybe a governor or a president,
mm,
I
mm,
mean,
mm,
I'm going to make the most because we saw a story of a woman that's her husband was a billionaire, and basically this guy kicked this woman out after 38 years, and the
Yes,
Yeah.
I
woman had
saw that.
nothing. So it's like if you know your husband can be silly like that. I mean, we're saying it because it seems like it's easy, but we don't know what that woman went through. Some men will block every channel. So if I'm with a man who has money, but he's blocking every channel, it doesn't make sense. Me, I'm leaving. But if I know that you're a generous person and I know that you can also help me, then I'm going to take that help because this life, like, it's turn by turn. So that's it.
So let me stay with you on that, Fa. So let's say you're going for love, right? And the guy is a billionaire, as in money
Yeah,
scatter, but you're going for
yeah,
love. And down the line, you figure out that okay, this guy is not a faithful, like quite a few Nigerian rich married men, they feel
yeah,
like they
faithful.
can sample the entire
As
universe.
yeah.
Um,
Mm.
Now, is there room for you to change your needs? Like, okay, so I came in for love, now this guy is being useless, but the money still coming, so you know what, let me just manage.
Yeah. I mean, it would depend on how intense the love is. And then it would depend on, sometimes somebody might have been treating you very well up until a certain point. So I would have to look back and see, okay, what's going on here. But ideally, me, I know myself, because I don't want to be resentful. I think resentment is the worst thing, and I don't want anybody to gaslight me. So for me, just to protect ourselves, especially if kids are involved, I don't want to come and tell my children your father is a bastard. Like, no, I want to know that I want to live on my own terms. I don't want to live when you've already disgraced me. So even if you have all the money in the world, I can jump onto the next person that has money. So I know that, okay, this next relationship I'm starting is not love.
Bardists.
But the thing is, that love, the intent, because the thing is, there's a thin line. The way you love someone 100%, you can hate the person that much. So it's like, for me, I don't want to hate. So if we have kids, I would try to be civil, but I'm going to walk away. If I love somebody and the person cheats on me, I can never stay. But if it's more than love, if it's more than love, if it's more of, oh, this guy can upgrade me, or this guy can support me, you can love someone because of that. And if you love them because of that, you know that the main purpose of marrying this person is not that deep. Like, there's a kind of love you feel that is deep, that you don't want to give your kidney for this person. So if you know that you're not giving kidney or you're not giving anything, then it's like, okay, okay, whatever.
So
like,
the love was based on the fact that you're well taken care of.
Exactly.
Yeah,
If
so
it's based
if
on the
that,
fact.
okay.
Yeah, so but if it's like deep love, like, even if you're poor tomorrow, I'm going to be like ride or die chick. Like, if I'm with you because I would die with you, even if you're broke and you
That
cheat
will
on me.
enter.
Like, for us not to go to jail, for nobody to go to jail, let me just walk away. So that's just it.
You know, one thing that you mentioned is, because I think I was thinking about it in terms of women who are well-to-do, who date married men, or things like
Yeah.
that. I think someone was telling me that, like, sometimes, like, there are not many men who can date you at your level. So, for example,
Yeah.
let's say you want, your idea of a date is, like, to fly to London for, like, dinner, right, or Paris for, like, dinner, right? You can afford to do it. You can afford to do a weekend in Paris, right, as a woman. So you want a guy who can flex you on that
Yeah.
level. Not a guy that can only do Shiro and best, right? So I think that part of the draw is that, like, to your point about the love being about someone that can meet me at my level, is many
Yeah.
times they may be married men, because the men that are your age, that I know, and your level of wealth, have married already, basically, long story short.
Yeah.
Mm.
But we're almost at times. Maybe we'll do a very, very, very quick one on silencing voices like Pete Edochie's. Do you think it's really Pete that is fueling this, or do you think that the men, like, this is what they want to hear? Like, this already where they are. So it's not whether Pete is the one that is leading or not. They will still lead themselves towards this line of thinking that they can cheat and women should just be okay with it.
I mean, peace is traditional, sure, but the truth is, a lot of Nigerian men are also traditional. Even people who are young, like, when you hear things that men say, it's like a guy is like, this babe, like, she's just flexing this one. I'm like, are you not flexing? Like, why can't, if a woman wants to sleep and have fun and go to the club and smoke weed and do drugs,
Fair.
like, why? Like, if that's what makes her happy at that point, because everything for women itself, it's typically a phase. When women get to a certain age, we try to become more mature. For these men, it's like, you see men at 50 buying tramadol. Like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing with tramadol? Like, you're trying to get your high or whatever. So it's like, for me, I think a lot of men, especially in Nigeria, even the ones you don't expect, are very, very traditional. So it's like, we think it's just Pete, but if you go deep inside and ask your brothers, your uncles, your friends, you find out that it's almost the same thing. It's part of the whole gender role thing. Like, I'm a man, I'm supposed to hunt, I'm supposed to be aggressive, I'm supposed to, get myself high and just do anything. And the woman is supposed to be there to just hold me and, pack everything together. But me, I'm just, running loose, basically. So me, I think unfortunately, I think he speaks for most men.
He does. That is why in the comment section you had plenty people
Yeah,
supporting and saying wise words, wise words.
exactly.
So
Oh,
you had,
God.
like, it was funny. It was interesting to see there were a few men there that were very, very vocal in saying, "Sir, this thing you're
Yeah.
saying, it doesn't make sense. So I
And
used to like you, but this particular wise word is not wise." You understand? And I think me, I would even just stay with the few, very few men that were against some of his mentality, which for them to even come out, because there were so many men that, as if he said,
supported.
so many men supported even with what we have spoken about with this harassment, with
Yeah.
Nekede, everything. We can see that they are still like that.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, we are just here thinking that is why they are so against woke and feminism. That is the cause of
Exactly.
every problem. Ah,
Anyway, that's a good place to wrap, ladies. It's been a real one. Um, See you in the next
Next
episode.
see you.
episode.
Bye.
Bye.